Hello, welcome back to Grow New Plants. Today I'm going to do a quick update on these Natchez Crape Myrtles. It's been exactly 3 weeks since I transplanted these from the 18 cell Rootmaker trays into these 1 gallon Rootmaker pots. And I just wanted to give you a quick update, show you what they're looking like, and then I'm going to also do some pruning to try and get these things to branch out to make nicely shaped trees. Uh, I didn't think a lot about that while I was propagating these, and that's one of my lessons that I'm learning. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult at this point to try and shape them up the way I want them to be, but we're going to give it a shot and see what happens with them. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to show you what the root systems have done in these things. These things were grown in 18 cell Rootmaker trays, which are they're like 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch, something like that. They're close to 4 inches. And now trying to transplant them into these 1 gallon pots. I'm just going to show you what the roots have already done just in 3 weeks. I've already pulled this thing out once to look at it. So you can see right there, man, that thing's got awesome looking roots already. So it's done a lot just in 3 weeks time. So that's the beauty of what these pots will do. These Rootmaker pots will give you unbelievable roots. And I've never found another system that will do what these things will do. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pruners, and what I want, if you look right here, this is the original cut, and all this is what's branched out from it. Okay, so I want this thing to start branching out at the base to give it 4 or 5 or 3 or 4, whatever, legs coming up. And if you look right here, this is all new growth since this thing has come out. So I'm going to go just above on this new growth here, and then this one here I wish was growing up more. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go right here. Hopefully you can see this good. I'm going to go about right here and then about right here and see if I can get these things. Hopefully these will put out new branches and some will start growing upwards, and then I'll leave those. Anything that starts to grow down, I'll leave down. Now this right here, this is not needed anymore because this isn't ever going to grow again. So I'm going to come, this is just dead wood here, and you can hear it snap. That's pretty much dead. So we're going to do that, and it's too late. Normally I would take these and re-stick these cuttings, but it's getting too late in the year to do that. So same thing here. This one, I hate losing that limb. I may eventually end up taking it off because it's got a lot of branching going up here, but I'm hoping I can get something to come here and grow out. So I'm going to take it right there. And then this one's a really nice, and it's got a lot of branching coming up. But tell you what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to take it right here and just see what happens. Okay, so hopefully I'll get a branch that'll come up on this one, and then some of these will start branching out. Like I said, these in the future, I will be more selective in the cuttings that I take. That way I can get these things hopefully to already have a better form out of the cutting itself. Now this one here, it's actually pretty good. It's just leaning. So I'll pack a little extra dirt in around this to keep it going straight up, because it's got this one that's still got growth on it. That's the original cutting there. See, there's the original cutting right there. And then this branch has come out since. So I'm going to leave that one and let it go up. And then actually, this one's pretty good. It's got 3 branches coming up across the top. So I'm just going to snip them off. And if right here, I don't know, hopefully you can see that. There's little buds. You can see little buds down in those leaves. Right at the leaf node, you can see little buds. So these buds should open and start growing up now. We'll see. And it's the other thing too on this, it is kind of late in the year to be doing this. But like I said, these started out as just an experiment. I didn't even film them initially. So this is my original cutting here. There's the cutting. This has come up from the cutting since. So we're going to take that one. We'll go ahead and go about right here. And I'm not worried about height and all that because it'll have time to do that. So this one's actually got this shoot, and this shoot, and this shoot. So that'll be 3 shoots coming up. So that one, got a weed in there. So that one actually is going to come out, should come out pretty good. So I got 3 nice branches, 3 nice trunks coming up. Let these come up and start branching out. Then should end up being a really nice plant right there. And that's kind of more what I'm going to shoot for. Is probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking my cuttings from now on, when I stick them, and I'll cut them a little bit shorter, and then hopefully I'll get this branching. See, all these shoots came up from the ground. And these other ones may do that too. They may send up additional shoots off from the ground too. And if they do, I'll just let those grow. So this one here, I hate doing this, but it's got, if you see it, it's just, this limb is just growing out. That's not going to be desirable. So I'm going to go through there and look. I got some buds. I got a bud. I don't know how precise I can be with this. There's a bud on the top of that limb right there. So hopefully, in theory, if I cut that right there, that should stimulate that bud to grow out, and it should be a limb growing upwards on here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, because these are all kind of going sideways. So I'm going to go here. Sorry. I got two buds right there. So I'll go right there. So hopefully that'll stimulate some more. And what'll happen when these buds, other buds start opening and a bunch of stuff grows up, some of the stuff I'll keep, some of it I'll let go. So this one here is got a nice shoot coming up, but it's curving over and going over to the side, which I don't really want it to do. So what I've got way down here, I've got more buds coming out above this branch right here, above these leaf nodes. So I'm going to take that off, and then hopefully these two buds will open up and put shoots up that way. And then this one here, I'm going to go ahead and just take that off about right there. I think that was an old seed pod. So we'll take that one like that. This one, not a lot to do. Did I already cut this one? I'm losing my mind, I'm sorry. This one I already cut. So I say that one looks pretty good. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. This one's going off to the side. So I'm going to look for a bud, hopefully a bud on the top somewhere. That's the closest one I see right here. There's a bud right there. And that's pretty, you know what, I don't like that. I'm just going to go ahead and take the chance and hope one of these buds down here come out and go up. And this one's got, hopefully, I'm going to let this one go, because this has got a lot of nice branching on it already. I'll go ahead and take this top one off to get it stimulate a little bit more branching up there. But hopefully this one will eventually start wanting to grow up towards the sun and then get more of an upright form there. So that one will probably be okay like that. So I hate it this time of year. I hate wasting all these cuttings, but it's just too late in the year to try and do anything with them. So anyway, I just want to give you a quick update on these and do a little bit of pruning on them, because that's part of this. You know, you can get where you can get a cutting to grow and make a plant, but if the plant never turns into a nice shaped plant, it's not going to make any difference. And I'll show you a real quick example before I get off this video. Okay, I know this is a different kind of tree. This is one of the Vitex trees, but this is one that when I took these cuttings, and if you watched any of the videos in the early where I did the Vitex, when I first took those cuttings and they took off growing, they just put a shoot straight up. And I started pruning them back, and I pruned them back several times. And you can see where I pruned here, and you see where I pruned here, and then I pruned back here on this one. So now I've got my main stalk coming out of the ground, then I got three really nice stalks branching out right here. And once this thing, it doesn't look like that much now, but when this thing is like 8 feet tall or 10 feet tall, these are going to be solid trunks. And then it's got all this other branching wanting to grow up. So now I've got a really nice, this one here is taken off to the side. I can take that off while I'm at it. So this thing's got a really nice upward growing shape to it now. So that's half the thing. Like I said, you can take a plant and start from cuttings, but if you don't prune it and you don't take care of it, it's not going to be a pretty plant. And that's what we want in the end. We want a nice looking plant. So, and the good thing about this, if you know what you're doing or learning what you're doing as you go along, kind of like I am, you can take a plant and shape it up and make it just a really nice, desirable plant. So anyway, that's about it for now. I appreciate you watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share my videos, and hit the little bell notification. That way when I do updates like this to a video, you'll get notified. Thanks a lot. Bye.